The United States is investing $144 million to upgrade military bases in the Philippines. This major funding aims to boost defense ties between the two countries. The announcement comes at a time of growing tension in the South China Sea. Both nations say the investment will make the alliance stronger and the region safer. The United States and the Philippines have a long history of military cooperation. Recently, Chinese actions in nearby waters have been viewed as aggressive. The United States wants to show its commitment to the Philippines. By funding better military facilities, the United States hopes to help its ally stand firm. These new investments are not just about buildings or runways. They are about preparing for new challenges in the region. Washington and Manila both want to keep the Indo-Pacific open and peaceful. The funding represents a clear signal that the United States is ready to defend its interests and its friends. But what does this money really mean for the Philippines, for China, and for everyone living in Southeast Asia? To answer that, we need to look at the history, the details of the funding, and the possible outcomes in the years ahead. The United States and the Philippines share a long, complicated history. The Philippines was once a United States colony and later became a key American ally in Asia. For decades, United States troops were based in the country, and both nations signed military agreements to protect each other. Even after the United States closed its main bases in the 1990s, the alliance continued to shape the region. In recent years, China has become more powerful and assertive. Beijing claims almost the entire South China Sea, including waters close to the Philippines. Chinese vessels have often entered these disputed areas, sometimes clashing with Philippine boats. Many in Manila are worried about sovereignty and security. The United States has promised to support the Philippines against any threats. The two countries signed the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, in 2014. This deal allows the United States to build and use facilities inside the Philippines, but not to set up permanent bases. It is a flexible partnership that can respond to new risks. With China's military growing and tensions rising, the United States-Philippines alliance is more important than ever. The latest funding is part of a larger effort to keep the region stable and to protect shared interests, but it also puts both countries on a collision course with China. The $144 million in United States funds will be spent on military facilities at several Philippine bases. These bases are spread across the country, including areas near the South China Sea. The goal is to make these facilities stronger, more modern, and ready for joint operations with United States forces. Most of the money will go towards building and upgrading runways. This will allow both United States and Philippine aircraft to land, take off, and operate more easily. Storage areas for weapons and fuel will also be improved. Stronger storage means faster response in case of emergencies. Housing and command centers for troops will get major upgrades. These buildings are essential for keeping soldiers safe and ready for action. Some funds will also support disaster response, like building warehouses for relief goods. This shows that the partnership is not only about war, but also about helping during storms and earthquakes. Each project is designed to fit local needs. United States advisors are working closely with Philippine officials to plan the upgrades. The money will be spent over several years, with strict oversight to make sure everything is done right. One important base being upgraded is Basa Air Base in Pampanga. Here the runway will be expanded and new hangars will be built. These changes will allow fighter jets and transport planes to operate in all weather. It will also make the base a key hub for joint United States-Philippine air operations. Lumbia Air Base in Mindanao is also getting attention. It will receive modern storage facilities for military equipment and humanitarian supplies. This makes the base more useful during natural disasters, which often strike the Philippines. Improved communications centers are part of the plan, ensuring better command and control. Naval facilities in Palawan, close to the South China Sea, will see upgrades too. These improvements will allow both navies to refuel and resupply faster. This is important for defending Philippine waters and responding quickly to incidents at sea. Across all these sites, security will be tightened. New fences, lighting and surveillance systems will help prevent unwanted intrusions. All these upgrades aim to make Philippine bases more resilient and ready for any challenge. China is watching these developments very closely. For Beijing, U.S. military upgrades in the Philippines are a direct challenge. Chinese officials say these moves threaten their claims in the South China Sea. They accuse the US of stirring up trouble and interfering in regional affairs. The Chinese government has responded with strong words and actions. Naval patrols in disputed waters have increased. Chinese Coast Guard ships often approach Philippine boats, sometimes blocking or bumping them. Beijing also warns its neighbors against hosting US forces. Despite these warnings, the Philippines and the US say the upgrades are defensive. They insist the goal is to keep the peace, not to provoke a fight. But, many analysts believe the new facilities could be used quickly in a crisis, including any clash with China. The risk of misunderstanding or confrontation is real. Both the US and China want to avoid war, but neither is willing to back down. The situation is tense, and every move is watched closely by governments across Asia. For the Philippines, stronger bases mean better national security. The country has long struggled to defend its huge coastline and many islands. Upgraded facilities make it easier to patrol the waters and to respond to emergencies, including disasters and threats from pirates or smugglers. Other Southeast Asian countries are also paying attention. Nations like Vietnam, Malaysia, and Indonesia have their own disputes with China. Some welcome the US presence as a counterbalance to Beijing's power. They hope that a stronger alliance will keep the South China Sea open to all. However, there are worries about possible escalation. If military tensions increase, trade and fishing could be disrupted. Ordinary people could be caught in the middle of a great power struggle. Some leaders call for calm dialogue and peaceful solutions. In the end, the upgrades may help deter aggression, but they could also spark new rounds of competition. The future of the region depends on wise choices by all sides. Philippine leaders have mostly welcomed the investment. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has called the US a trusted ally. He says the funding will help modernize the country's armed forces and protect its sovereignty. Many top officials agree, seeing the upgrades as necessary for national defense. Some local officials are excited about new jobs and business opportunities. Construction projects bring money to their communities. Others hope the presence of US troops will bring more security, especially in areas often hit by disasters. But not everyone is happy. Some citizens and activists worry about losing control over Philippine territory. They fear the country will be dragged into conflict between the US and China. Protests have taken place near some bases, with chants against foreign troops. Debate is strong in the media and online. Some Filipinos want to rely on their own forces. Others say only the US can help defend the country against bigger powers. The issue remains deeply divisive. There are clear benefits to the US investment. The Philippines get stronger bases, better equipment, and closer ties with an important ally. The US gains new places to operate in the Indo-Pacific, which helps deter rivals and respond to crises quickly. Still, there are risks. The upgrades could make the Philippines a target in a larger conflict. Some fear that the US will pressure Manila to take sides in disputes that do not directly involve the Philippines. Others worry about the long-term impact on the country's independence. Managing the alliance will require careful planning. Both sides must balance their own interests with the need for regional stability. Transparency and communication are key. If handled well, the partnership could set an example for other countries facing similar challenges. The future is uncertain, but there is hope. Many believe that closer cooperation can bring peace and prosperity, as long as everyone respects each other's sovereignty. The $144 million US investment in Philippine military bases marks a new chapter in the alliance. It shows a shared commitment to security at a time of rising tensions in Asia. Both countries hope to protect their interests and keep the Indo-Pacific region free and open. Looking ahead, cooperation will likely grow. More joint exercises, technology sharing, and disaster response efforts could follow. The partnership may also inspire other countries to build their own alliances for peace and defense. Still, challenges remain. The risk of conflict with China is real, and local concerns must be addressed. Leaders must listen to their people and be ready for new threats. Open dialogue and respect for each country's independence are essential. In the end, the hope is for a stable, secure, and prosperous region. The US-Philippines alliance, backed by new investments, could play a key role in shaping the future of Southeast Asia.